Hello, how you guys doing? Good morning on this Sunday afternoon. I didn't get a chance to wake up and go to the worship house today, and so I had to sit back. Um, so you just sometimes you wake up late. But anyway, hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, where you at, in whatever city, town, state, or in some places, country. But this time I'm going to address this to the black community. There's a couple videos I want to point out, and this is to black men and black women and the younger one. And this is going to be important to you. I'm going to play you three videos that why it's going to affect you more, but other people have the same problem, but particularly I'm going to show you something in this video. But first, let's start with the single mother.
We know how great it is to celebrate a win. You know, the single parent epidemic in our community is something that I view as very destructive because it takes two people to raise children. Case in point, our sister here is going to break down why this is such a problem. Let's review.
I want to say something, and I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash, but it needs to be said. Black women, we got to stop having children with men that are not committed to us.
Why would you get backlash for saying that? There was nothing disrespectful by saying that at all. Why would you have a child with a man who don't respect you, who don't honor you, he don't even honor his own seed? Why is that wrong? But it lets you know how backwards some people are in our community. Now, I get messages from people, telling me, well, why are you talking about black people, especially black women? You don't talk about other groups. You're lying, for one. Two, you don't research. If you actually went through my content enough, you will see I talk about anybody. Anybody can get it here. It doesn't matter to me. But when it comes to issues in our community, I'm a black man. I can talk about that.
Right.
Whether you want a white person or a Hispanic person or anybody else sitting up here on this microphone talking about you, then you would get mad and say they're being racist towards you.
Exactly.
So which one is it? Is it going to be racist towards you for talking about our issues?
Exactly.
Or it's a problem on top of it? The issue why we don't get nowhere as a community is that you're hard-headed. You won't listen to a black man tell you anything, and you won't listen to a black woman so much so that she fears backlash for telling you the God's honest truth. Let's continue.
Okay? And before y'all start with the, oh, Medusa, you got married and now you think you're better than us, stop it. Because I've been preaching this prior to me even getting married.
Even that comment, you think you're better because you're married. Let's call it what it is. Some people are better than others in life. Yeah, that's a reality. Some people are better. Some people are faster. Some people are smarter. I know that. There are people that's way better than me in a whole lot of things. And that's okay. As long as I be the best me. That's all I got to be. I'm not trying to compete with them. Of course, it's competition in capitalism, of course. And I cannot be everything. But you know what? I may not be the best at something, but I sure can hire someone who's the best. And now it makes me look good. See, that's the key when you don't have something, right? So the issue is this. She qualified to get married. And the people who's telling her that cannot qualify. But once again, she feels she's going to be attacked for being married, which is a normal thing. People have been getting married for millions of years, and yet, just because she's saying what's right, you're going to use because she's married against her. That's backwards.
Talking to the Krayshawn Rocks of the world, okay? The ones who have children with men who have absolutely no intentions of being involved in their children's life at all and make it very clear from the jump, alright? I just finished watching Krayshawn and Blueface ghetto ass show on Zeus. You got Krayshawn's drug addicted mother in the background over here pressuring her into being a single mother. Then you got her mom, her cousins, and her sisters pretty much saying the same thing, but see, they don't see nothing wrong with it because they're single mothers too. This is literally all they know. This is the norm for them. This shit has been normalized for them. That's the fucking problem. I'm here to tell you that being a single mother is not fucking normal. Raising a child on your own is not normal. You didn't create the child on your own, so you shouldn't have to raise the child on your own. I know your mama did it, and your mama's mama did it, so now you think that you should do it, and it's not the case. And I wish that somebody would step up and shake some goddamn sense into these women and let them know what the tea is. I'm tired of this shit. But if you don't believe me, look at the facts. Children born to unmarried women have a higher increase increase in infant mortality. Our marital status negatively affects black women, and it does not affect white women the same. And this is not by coincidence, this is solely by design. Single parents are most likely to be female and black, and most black single women are at a 30% increase of living in poverty, okay? Black.
Again, this is black people bringing this.
Okay? Black women who have children out of wedlock are at an 85% increase of being single parents and raising the child on their own by the time the child is 2. This is not by coincidence, this is by design. And I don't even think I need to touch on the psychological trauma and abandonment issues that come with you only having one parent in your life. Like, come on. We always talking about breaking generational curses and building generational wealth. Well, newsflash, most wealthy people are married. How?
Boom, just like that. Yes, they are. You look at all the billionaires and they're married. You cannot build generational wealth with a generational curse mindset. Now, she's talking about Krayshawn's family, saying it's okay to be a single mother. And you look at those women's lives. They're not successful either. They're riding Krayshawn's coattail, being on Krayshawn's show because of her connection to Blueface. Now, Blueface is not some upstanding guy. I would say, hey, that's the kind of guy you need to be with. You know what I'm saying? No. But women have way more to lose becoming a single mother than a man in society. Even though you may get a lot more help than other countries, you will. Here in America, you will. Single mothers in other countries, they better think. They always got to think before they have that baby, because they're not going to get no welfare, food stamps. They're not going to get no housing. They're not going to get anything. You're on your own. You had that baby, deal with it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get no child support. In this country, you live in a luxury. This is why some people in other countries hear you complaining about your life and they just get sick of you, because you literally live in luxury. Even when you screw up, you still get people bailing you out of it, right? But even if you're getting bailed out of your problem to a point, it's still not enough. It's not. Even if you're getting child support, it's still not enough, because that child needs a father. That child didn't get here without a mama and daddy, and that child need a mom and daddy to raise it. Listen, I'm a man. I would not want to raise my 9-year-old by myself as a man. I need my wife. I need her. There's a whole lot of things that I don't know about women and all that, or certain things I know a little bit more now, of course, at my age, but I still don't know how it is to be a woman. So how would I could even raise my 9-year-old alone? I would never want to do that. Or vice versa. You have a woman raising children alone. There's times, for instance, let's say if my wife didn't have me around, there's certain things that she just come to me and say, hey, this is going on, that's going on. Oh, this issue, that issue. Hey, can we do this? Are you going to do that? She don't have to worry about any of that. Versus, let's say if I wasn't around, then she would have to worry about all that, worry about the kids, worry about everything. By herself, couldn't prioritize her health, couldn't prioritize anything, because she's so consumed with everything. You cannot live a soft life without a man, ladies. Don't deceive yourself. Oh, I work and pay for my own. No. The true way to live a soft life is have a loving husband. Or is your husband going to be perfect? No. We are not perfect as men, and women aren't perfect either. But you know what? If you got a husband or you got a wife, keep your relationship together, work on your relationship. There's some deficiencies, whatever, work on it, because there's nothing in these streets. These people telling you that the dating market and the dating pool has sewage in it. Everybody's telling you. So stay with your wife, stay with your husband.
Yes.
Trust me, it's better that way.
Yes.
You need two parents to raise these kids.
Yes.
And she's right. She didn't even get into the aspect of the children. Do you know children have a higher propensity to be incarcerated growing up in a single parent household?
I was going to tell you about that.
I've talked to people who have been incarcerated. And you know what they told me? About 90+% of them grew up in a single parent household with a single mother. Not too many were in there that grew up with a father in the household. And we talking about our community. We're not talking about others. We're talking about ours. So since we know that we can literally cut down the incarceration rate of our children, especially our black boys that grew up into black men, by 90%, it's imperative that we have a mother and a father. Let's say for some reason the relationship did not work out. If that man's a good man and it just not work out, you ain't got to chase him down to be with his son or his daughter. He will be there. you ain't got to chase them down for child support. I say you should not even be doing child support. Child support should be if you don't do nothing at all. You're not trying to see the child. You're not trying to help with anything. Because if it's truly child support, let's say if it was me, I'd be like this. Okay, hey, they gonna need this XYZ. I pay so much, you pay so much, or whatever. If you don't put a man on child support, he's willing to give you a lot more. Come on, how many men feel that way? You're willing to give her a lot more instead of child support. But the moment you put that man on child support, that's the moment he gonna say, I'm only following that. You could have got $10,000 more out of it, but since you said this, I'm gonna give you $500. I'm telling you, that's how most men are. Because you literally putting the state on him. You didn't put the state wasn't involved when y'all made that baby, so why you need the state to rear it? And the state does not look out for that child. That best interest of the child, that's a lie. The so-called best interest of the child, they send children with women who's no good, got all kind of predators and all that stuff, and something happens to that child. How many times have men have been in court talking about, I don't want my child around there, nothing they can really do about it to actually do something to the child, right? So don't give me that best interest of the child crap. That's a freaking lie. But most men would not even, we talking about good men. If you was with a good man, but it just didn't work out, you ain't got to put him on child support. You ain't got to chase him. He always going to stay gainfully employed. He always going to be there for his child. And I've met a few women out there, a few. They have said, nah, I don't do no child support. I just tell him, hey, you can pay for this, you pay for that. He do it. I never have an issue with him. And I always say, those women right there is the best women ever. The best. The best. Because fellas, at the same time, make sure you pick the right woman too. Because she's a good woman, she's a decent woman, she's a moral woman, but some reason it didn't work out. She's not trying to harm you. She just wants you to just do what you're supposed to do. And that's it. But children suffer in single-parent household. They don't get as high education as they do in a two-parent household because you have the balance. You know, they say, what's they say, the yin and the yang. You got that. The mom has her place and the dad has his. And coming together is perfect. God didn't make us to create children to be raised by themselves. No, a mother and father has to be there. And we got to get back to that. It saddens me to see children growing up with a single mother. It saddens me to see that. Children should not be coming into the world until they are through a marriage. And I understand marriages break apart. I understand that happens. Unfortunately, it happens. I wish everybody's marriage can work out. Even Jeezy. I wish him and Jenny Mai worked themselves out. I don't want to see that little baby raised with a single mother without Jeezy around. Okay, I'll tell you from experience. You can be the best dad ever, getting your child much as possible. It's still not the same like living with them every day. If they call you 2 o'clock in the morning because they scared or something or whatever, you would never get that picking them up once or every other week, every week pick them up. You still won't get that. You're going to miss out on a lot because you're not there. And it's depressing to go from when you're there to when you're not there. That's very depressing. So that's what even Jeezy is not even going to realize. That's why I said I wish Jeezy and her work their issues out. I don't like divorce. I'm telling you, I don't like it. It's not a good thing. You understand what I'm saying? I hope they work it out. But let's continue with this sister has to say.
Supposed to build generational wealth with no form of stability. Like, come on, y'all, it's time for us to put on our thinking caps. Stop going against the grain. And let me be clear, this is not an attack on single mothers. This is, however, an attack on y'all normalizing and glamorizing single motherhood for black women. Because in actuality, when you really break it down and look at the statistics, all you're doing is normalizing and glamorizing and fetishizing poverty. Because that's really all we have to look forward to. We are literally fetishizing poverty. It's like almost like some of us have like a fucking poverty king. And it's beyond problematic. We need to stop that. I just want to just point out that we are statistically putting our children at a disadvantage when we make these decisions. So with that being said, black women, we gotta have higher standards for the men that we choose to have children with. And to my older black women, like Krayshawn's mom and them, stop encouraging the youth to be single mothers just because you did it. Well, I did it, so you can do it. You shouldn't have had to do it.
And listen what she said, that I'm not trying to attack. Telling the truth is not an attack, okay? It's not an attack. It's you telling the truth because you care. Let me tell you something. I always tell people this. When somebody don't tell you anything, like a person just was preaching to you, and then they got to a point he don't say nothing to you, then either they done with you or they just don't care. I'd rather someone talk to me than just whatever like that, right? Because she has no reason to be talking to y'all. But what she wants is she wants y'all, the single mothers, to have what she has. So that's why she's talking to y'all. But you would but see, you have to understand, we live in Babylon. What's evil is good. What's wrong is right. You understand? And because of that, speaking a message of truth, righteousness, justice, you gotta understand that you're wrong.
Right.
They have normalized single motherhood. They have normalized deadbeat dads. They have normalized living on the system. That's how it's been normalized. See, now I'm gonna go political just for a minute. You couldn't give me no kind of political power, because the first thing I would do is I would say I want to audit all the books. I don't mind helping somebody for about 18 months. But if you're on this program past 18 months, okay, now you're making it a lifestyle. Temporary help is one thing, but a lifestyle is another. Because you have people have a career on food stamps, welfare, etc. Because my thing is, I don't want to give you food stamps or welfare. I want to give you training. I want to give you training so you can do for yourself. Because that's just a waste of time when you don't teach somebody how to feed themselves and how to house themselves. You understand? That living on the system crap, that's why people just recklessly have children. Because, oh, well, I have to get more money on the system. That rug need to be pulled from underneath a whole lot of you. Just to be honest with you. And I don't understand how some of you lay up with a man that you know is no good and get impregnated by him. That sorry, no good man, his genes gonna be in your child. And it is a possibility that your child could possibly take on their daddy's ways because that DNA is in them. That's why even men, you want a woman who's smart, a woman who's honorable, a woman who's caring, a woman that's nurturing, a woman that actually takes care of herself and has a good spirit about her, because you want your child to be that way. But even some of you men, that some of you that even accomplished, some of you like a Creation. Oh yeah, some of you do. Some of you like Sexy Red. Yes.
I wouldn't. I'll come across women like that. No.
All electric for short trips. Combust.
Some of you like a Creation. Oh yeah, some of you do. Some of you like Sexy Red. Yes, you do. Don't lie. Some of you do. It's just not the hood dudes that like Sexy Red and Sukihana. Some of you suit wearing dudes out here, they got a decent job. I'll go lay up with a Sukihana. Oh yes, you would. Don't lie. I know you black men. I know you. Oh, I know you, because I'm one of you. Them kind of women, no. But not at all. But some of you, yes. Oh, yes. You would lay up with that kind of woman. And then you be, and people wouldn't even figure it out. Like, how is that his child's mother? All them tattoos that girl got, lashes like bat wings, and why? I don't get it. You look so clean cut. Listen, some black men don't think. They may be smart in some instances and accomplished in some instances, but they like the same thing like Pookie and Ray Ray. That's why sometimes they argue with Pookie and Ray Ray about black women. Oh, I'm about to go there. Pookie and Ray Ray's not even in the category. They can't afford what these brothers can afford, right? But they want the same women Pookie and Ray Ray want. See, if they was accomplished, those kind of women, the Sexy Reds and the Sukihanas, would just like, I want that for. I got access to all of this over here. And I'm saying some men are like that, who got jobs and everything. Oh yeah, so that's why you see some of these guys, and then they want to complain about how ratchet she is and how toxic she is, and busting out the windows and keying the car. Like, she was that way before you met her, dude. You knew that, but you like that sort of thing. Because some of you black men love a toxic female. Oh yes, you do. You're a good, straight up, classy woman. Don't cause you them kind of problems or anything like that. You don't like that either. You consider her boring. You like that rashness too, but that's a video of a different day. I'm just kind of giving you a preview of why some of these guys dealing with some issues and then now they can't be with them, so they make them single mothers. Oh yes, it's all over the spectrum, because Pookie and Ray Ray is always demonized, and which they should be. But some of these good job having dudes too, they not with these women either, making babies. So let's go there. But shout out to the sister. She's 100% right. 100% right in what she say. Single motherhood is not the business. If he don't give you his last name, then you don't give him a kid. That's the way that works.
He's absolutely right, and it's opposite. Some black people don't think you're black enough. If you don't do that, you're not
If you
black.
wait until your headlights
Then they
burn
try
out,
to
you can lose up to
subconscious with
50%
you with
visibility.
that.
Switch to Sylvania today. See
So
better
that's what
tonight.
they try to be hard. So they think that being dysfunction,
Protect my most important asset,
it
my
is,
brain.
and some will do
Just like
that.
you're not going to see me playing without a helmet, you're definitely not
And
going
them
to
the
see
ones
me
that be
playing
using the
without
N-word all the time.
Call her up.
Hey, this is Raul of Please Act Right. I did cover this video before, but we got some new people chiming in. So to all the black women out there asking, why are they the only race of women being asked by black men to help them build? This video is for you.
Why are black women the only group that's being asked to build men up financially? Like, I just really want men to drop down in the comments and help me understand this, because I don't hear my white brothers, I don't hear my Asian brothers, the Latin brothers, I don't hear my Indian or Arab kings out here asking their women to build them up financially. I don't hear
I will definitely not aim this towards all black women because I know there are a lot of traditional black women that are out there. But I do not agree with this woman at all. Hear me out. I am a sales consultant for a luxury car brand, and I sell cars to all walks of life, all different types of cultures, ethnicities, all different types of people. All different types. And the reason why a lot of those men who are from different cultures who are very traditional do not have to ask their women for any type of help is because their women do it willingly.
I hear my Indian or Arab kings out here asking their women to build them up financially. I don't hear them.
So this post is to my fellow African American women who feel the same way as this woman does. I work around a lot of foreign people, a lot of foreign families. I work around Indians, I work around Africans and Koreans and Romanians and Hispanic families. And one thing that I can tell you with confidence is 99.99% of African American women could not, would not, and is not capable of being the type of woman and playing the role that women play in their families within these cultures.
And we know she's telling the truth, because black women in record numbers on videos are saying that they won't accept a coffee date. So you know they're not going to help a black man build.
I had sold this doctor a car, okay? I believe he was a neurosurgeon or something of that nature. And he also did real estate. The guy made a lot of money. So I wanted some advice, and I asked him, different tips he can help me on because I was a marketer. So after we talked, he literally told me, he said, the reason why I am where I am today is because of my wife. As his wife sat across him, he told me that when he was in med school, when he was trying to get better at real estate and all these different things, his woman held him down. She made most of the money at that time. He didn't want for anything. He did the best he could to help support himself just as much as his relationship with his woman. Because of her, it helped elevate him to being in the position that he is now as a neurosurgeon, and also him being really good in real estate, which gives them the riches that they have today. And what if I told you that that same woman is in the medical field and makes over $500,000 a year? Like, the woman was a straight boss.
The fact that you call some of the things that we deal with struggle love, that makes me know right there that there is no way that you could hold up to the type of women they are in other cultures in their families. Have you ever watched an Indian family run a hotel? Even though the man is the head of the household, and even though their marriages are arranged, do you know what the women do within that family?
And I used to be a delivery driver for UPS, so I've seen it all. I've seen it from different cultures too. From Indian families to Chinese families and even Iranian families.
Right.
Their wives put in work.
Right.
I want to give a special shout out to Ken, Greg Hawkins, Kevin Burke, Ramon J. Bell, and All In Designs for supporting my channel through Cash App and PayPal. Please know that your continued support is greatly appreciated.
But the dopest thing that I heard from this woman had nothing to do with how much money she made. She listened to her man speak and literally let him do his thing. She didn't have to tell me what she did for that man. It was something she knew she wanted to do. She allowed her man to lead, and she showed that man respect, and he loved her for it, and he made sure to reciprocate that energy just like she did to him.
I mean, I don't think you understand that there is no such thing as a soft girl era. It's just not. I mean, and no one and these families will look at building a family together as struggle love. None of them look at it that way.
I look at this soft girl life just like retirement. You gotta put in the work first before you can have a relaxed retirement. Problem is, too many modern women nowadays want a soft life with a man without putting in the work.
And I also met another man that was from Palestine, and he had his own hotel. And when I sold this man a car, he told me, before I make a decision, I want to talk to my wife first. And I said, that's no problem. I said, is there a reason why? And he sat there and said, my wife is actually my accountant. My wife does all my numbers. My financial decision is just as important as hers. When he's so busy running his hotel or doing other things, she's helping him run it on the side. Look, I've met black couples like this, Asian couples like this, almost every type of person.
So he's saying there are black women out there who are willing to build with their man. So single women out there who are not willing to do it, you may be missing out. The man that may be for you, you're gonna have to help him build.
When it comes to a marriage, the biggest common denominator is that these women work with their men. They are teammates. But the difference is that these women also reciprocate. They also work with their men. They are high-functioning teammates. She helps him, and he gives her a beautiful life, and together they both win.
Every part of you is connected, so the way you care for your health should be too. Whether you need primary care.
In fact, in a lot of cultures around the world, you can't even marry as a man if you don't have your bread together. So why are black women being told we need to help upbuild? Why are we being told we need to ride or die?
This lady made a comment about how usually the men in these cultures have to be somewhat stable before they marry or have a wife. It does not mean that they don't struggle, because they do. They do. I've watched Indian families literally move into a hotel together.
And I have seen it too.
Struggle together. No, stainless steel appliances, none of that. And even though the wife does not get paid, she will work 24 hours a day and take care of her family to make sure her husband's hotel runs perfectly. 99.99% of African American women are not going to do that.
I ain't dealing with no man. These trifling men, all they want to do is sit around and play PlayStation all day.
Now to my ladies, I'm not telling you to give your all to a man that is a bum, dude that comes home every single day doing absolutely nothing with himself, borrowing your car, ripping and running, doing all that stupid stuff. Like, we know those types of men. There's a lot of women out there that give their all to men that ain't doing nothing for themselves. And we all know those types of women that date those types of men. So don't be mad if things are not working out for you, if you are giving your all to a man who is not going to reciprocate the way you are. Not a black thing, it's not a white thing, Asian thing. It is a traditional thing, it's a teamwork thing, and men and women work together to make the dream work. Pour into a fountain and not a drain.
Don't bring up other cultures because you have no idea, okay? Ask them. Ask them. Lastly, when someone that you want to deem as racist says anything about the black community, we all are very quick to talk about statistics and data. And that data that you will bring up is the same data that you need to enter into your head, which is black men usually are more susceptible to unemployment and discrimination against jobs. It just is what it is in our community, So don't forget that.
Exactly.
You can't bring it up when you're going against somebody that you deem as racist, but now you want black men to be like everybody else.
Right.
They're not in the position to be like everybody else.
Right.
Okay? So rather than talking down on black men,
Exactly.
we need to come together as a community and work together as a community, because that's the difference between our community and other cultures. They work together. And if you think that our men are damaged now, I've said it before and I'll always say it again. Start with the men in your family and raise them to be the type of men that you want to see in our community. Just as simple as that. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.
I wanted to make this video because I found this young man and this young lady stating that they've seen with their own eyes women from other cultures helping their husbands build their lives and build their wealth. I'm hearing too many times black women saying that they shouldn't have to build with a black man. They think that women from other cultures don't help their husbands build. The truth of the matter is, you just don't see them build with their husbands. Like I mentioned earlier, I was a UPS driver for 13 years, delivering packages to businesses and to houses. And I've seen it all. And I've seen it in many different cultures. The wives build with their husbands. So to all the black women out there who are saying they're not going to build with a man and they're looking for the man who already has it together, chances are you're not going to find one. But if you want to take a chance and hold out for one, all I can say is, good luck. Hey, somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, and I went to the Hispanic church, and most Hispanic and Latinos, whatever reference you, the people that speak Spanish, most of them are married to another person. Majority of them. And even if you see the women at church, like right now I go to a church, mainly Nigerian, that are different Africans, and they're mostly Nigerians. Sometimes the husband's at work on Sunday, or sometimes they don't go to church for some particular reason. Maybe at home watching the kids, or sometimes they don't feel like going to church. But their wives is at church, and sometimes you don't know it until an event come up, then the husband shows up at the church event, whatever. But yeah, most of them do that, and I've seen it. And again, the people that come from Latin America, different parts of Latin America, different parts of Africa. I worked around individuals that's from
if you have an hour this
different
week,
ones.
you can learn 100 songs on the piano by
And
learning
a lot of them got businesses. A lot of them work together. In fact, the one that I know had landscaping business. Yeah, a lot of them in construction, landscaping. They run food trucks, restaurants. So, yeah, you need to really get to know the cultures around you.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel
But
Chucks
this is
and your
going to lead
host
to
for this YouTube channel. Back
This is
with
the main
another
one I
video.
want you to.
Back with another question. What are we gonna do about the current state of black culture? And I know I get a lot of pushback when I talk about black culture. People say this is not, the things you are pointing out about society are not black culture. That's N-word culture. I've heard it before, right here in the comments. And I know, as much as any, there's a difference between black folks, N-words. It's okay to draw a distinction. It's okay to declare yourself different from them folks who can't control their emotions, from them folks who are uneducated, from them folks who pump negative rap music into their headphones 24/7. Get on Instagram and TikTok, feed their eyes with negative images that affect their own psyche, and it manifests itself in their own actions. And they end up in situations that we see in blue cities all across the country, where folks will just walk into a store, grab something off the shelf and walk out. Not just grab one item, but grab a whole shelf full of items and fill a garbage bag. Walk out. Who taught you how to be this person? Who taught you how to conduct yourself this way? Who is advocating for policies that allow these actions to flourish? I think we know the answer to that question. Although a lot of us don't want to admit it, there's a lot of us vote for it. Take a look at what happened in Philadelphia just last night, as these young people entered random stores and got 5-finger discounts on whatever they wanted. Disregarded the laws, did what they wanted to do. Check this out, y'all.
Breaking news to get to tonight. Video showing people breaking into stores right in Center City, Philadelphia. Officers saying these people were not part of the protesters who were upset following a judge's dismissal of all charges against former Philadelphia police officer Mark Dial.
Yeah, people can be seen carrying arms full of merchandise after breaking into this Foot Locker on Chestnut Street.
Monday night, I'm Gray Hall with Shari Williams. The big story tonight on Action News is breaking news of reports of looting tonight on the streets of Philadelphia.
Well, this does come hours after city officials called for calm following charges being dismissed against Officer Mark Dial in the shooting death of Eddie Irizarry. Action News' Chris Theoletto joining us here live now in Center City with more. And Christy, police stressing that those we're seeing doing these acts, not necessarily a part of the protest from earlier.
And that's right, Shari. And I want to set the scene here on Walnut Street because it pretty much looks like a labyrinth of yellow crime scene tape. Now, from what we can see, it looks like 15th Street all the way to 18th Street have been blocked off. And within the confines of those blocks are stores like the Apple Store that were hit by looters. Now, like you mentioned, police say that they don't believe the individuals responsible are tied to that peaceful protest from earlier. I did speak to Commissioner Stanford by phone, and he says that the individuals that have been detained range from teens to young adults, and they have even recovered one weapon. They're still processing a lot of the people that have been detained, but they don't believe that they were tied to that protest, that they were just in fact trying to take advantage of what was happening at City Hall. But again, I want to go to some video because they targeted a lot of stores here in both Center City and Rittenhouse. This is the Foot Locker along Chestnut Street, and you can see crowds of people running in and out of the stores, carrying merchandise, clothes, shoes, all weaving in and out of traffic on Chestnut Street. And then we even spoke to a witness who was in Rittenhouse. I'm going to go to this video because this is video outside of the Lululemon store on Walnut. A witness says that she and her friends were sitting across the street at A-Bar at 18th and Walnut when they suddenly saw a crowd of teens swarm the doors and then began looting the store.
Hard Mountain Dew's getting absurdly good reviews like this.
I'd shave a wild sass.
Looting the store.
Saw a bunch of people, like, just go into the Lululemon, clothes everywhere.
What was running through your mind?
I'm sitting by a window. I'm just gonna, like, look the other way. This is, yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, the Apple Store looks pretty cleaned out. Really?
Yeah, except for, like, computer monitors, but, like, all the Apple Watches, iPhones look pretty...
What do you make of that when you see all of this happening?
I mean, well, we watched, like, the Lululemon thing happen, and that was concerning just because it looked like a lot of people got arrested at first, but they kind of let everybody go.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I would say, like, 30 plus people ran the opposite direction away from the scene, and then everything died down. Yeah.
Again, this is a live look at the Apple Store where police investigators are still trying to process this scene. They have multiple scenes that they are at. Again, the Lululemon store, the Foot Locker, we also heard about at Nordstrom Rack. Again, I did speak with Commissioner Stanford. He said that they do not believe that these individuals that were behind the looting are tied to the protest that happened at City Hall, that they were just trying to take advantage of that situation. They are still trying to process all of the people that they have detained, and that is going to take some time, so we won't even have a real number of how many people were taken into custody or being processed until probably tomorrow morning. They also did recover a weapon, but we will have more information on that as we continue to follow this developing story. Live here in Rittenhouse, Chris Theoletto for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Gray and Shari?
Y'all, this is a problem.
Sorry.
And this problem, in particular, begins in the home. These are young people. They only got a couple adults in the crowd. Most of these were minors, young people. And the stores that they looted can tell you a lot about the psychology of these individuals. They went into Foot Locker. Why? Because they wanted to be able to stunt on their friends in new kicks. These kicks that are made in China by little babies in sweatshops.
I also want you to know I found it in my heart to forgive you.
Cost you $10 a pair. But here in America, you paying $200 for that pair. And instead of these young people seeing the value of that shoe as the $10 that it costs to manufacture, they're looking at the $200, $250 price tag that they would have to pay here in America, saying, hey, I'd never be able to afford those shoes on my own, so let me take advantage of this opportunity to go steal them. Stunt through the neighborhood. And you know who's waiting for you when you stunt in them sneakers? The little jack boys who walk around the neighborhood with pistols, with Glocks, with switches, waiting to up that pole and make you come up out them shoes in the middle of the street. What is going on with black culture, I asked, because as I watched this video, I saw black faces in and out of these different stores in Philadelphia, taking what they wanted, not what they needed, because they had shoes on their feet when they went in there. Can't be said that they needed those shoes. Nah, they wanted those shoes. They took on a mob mentality, busted through glass, ran in there and took what they wanted. And I have to ask, where are the parents? Boy, where is your daddy? Where is that man to lay down the rod of correction in your life? Keep you from doing things like this that may land you behind bars all over a stupid decision for some sneakers, overpriced sneakers that the manufacturer paid a few dollars to have created, up the price exponentially and charged you $250. You knew you couldn't afford it. But what I want to know is why you valued it so much. Why was it worth so much to you to risk your freedom, to risk your life, for some doggone tennis shoes? Again, I ask, what has happened to black culture that we think it's worth it to risk it all? Look like something. Living in the hood. Got some new sneakers.
This is about the Soviet space program. Yeah.
Living in the hood.
This is the intro.
Got some new jeans. And we think, in our warped mentality, we've been conditioned to think that these material items are things of value. No, not education. No, not careers. No, not honesty. Not living a productive life. But just let me stunt for a few minutes. Even if this few minutes cost me the rest of my life. Just let me stunt. What's going on, y'all? What's going on with black culture, with black society? Where I see news stories like this, but I hear no one who looks like me speaking out against it. In fact, the mayor of Chicago is constantly making excuses for this kind of behavior. And I said, what's going on with our culture, with our people, that we would make excuses? This mob behavior. These people are acting like animals. racism when someone speaks the truth about what they see. I don't know these kids. All I know is what I see on camera. I can only describe what I see. They're acting unruly. They're acting uncouth. They're acting like savages. All over some sneakers. A little synthetic leather, a little rubber glued together by some child in a sweatshop in China. And you think that's worth your life?
Exactly. And you can see that.
Y'all get mad at me when I talk about these rappers who promote this kind of culture, who turn against God openly, who have sold their souls to the devil and the industry, and promote the degradation of society. You get mad at me when I point this stuff out? These kids are on their way to a jail cell. They don't even have the sense to mask up and glove up. They just feel like they can walk into some man's business and take those things that he's worked hard for and covet them as their own. Just to put them on the gram and say, look what I got. Y'all, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the police are on the gram. FBI is on the gram. All of these three-letter agencies are on this platform looking at content. They see y'all. So when you get that knock on the door and they put your child in cuffs, you're faced with that reality that you ain't been doing your job as a parent.
Yep.
I hope that God has mercy on your situation and you see it as a turning point to do better in the hood and love your children and put forth the effort. Yeah, we know it's hard work to raise a child, especially in hood conditions. That's what you signed up for when you birthed that child. We hope that you embrace your obligations as a parent and do your best to turn these kids around. Because this, whether it be in Philly, in Brooklyn, in Atlanta, in San Francisco, in Oakland, in LA, this is unacceptable. And for us to accept it as black culture, nah, bro. There's plenty of people out here who look like me, who earn like me, who got college degrees like me, who's saying, I ain't part of this. These little people right here who act like this, nah, I ain't part of that. Separate them from me, because we don't support them. They acting like animals, roving through the streets, breaking in stores, looting and stealing. You got shoes on your feet, bro. Ain't no excuse for you to walk in there, break through the window, and steal these folks' shoes. What do y'all think about this? Because the stigma is heavy on the black community when incidents like this occur. You got people out there like Black Lives Matter and all these different organizations that try to make excuses for this. Nah, bro, there's no excuse. This is degenerate activity. And I know I'm gonna get the hate. They gonna call me a raccoon for saying this? But call me what you want. I ain't gonna tell you what I think about it on them folks' platform. But I don't support this at all. And if you support it, I suggest you unsubscribe to this channel. You done found the wrong place. We don't do that here. We promote education. We promote entrepreneurship. We don't support this at all over here. like the video, subscribe to the channel, and
Now I'm gonna take over from here. Okay, black people, the ones who have this mindset, this is going to happen. Right now, we're in the middle of a midterm election. They're trying to get legislation signed, and the ones who do this kind of stuff, they're trying to put your children, the ones who want to act like a fool, they're gonna put your children in jail, and it's gonna be longer than probably what they did on January 6th, because that's what they love to do. Generations of black people. You have another generation of Gen Zs gonna fill the prisons up, and then they're gonna be working 2 cents an hour in someone's prison throughout this country. And if that don't change, you're gonna have some foreigner gonna shoot your kid for robbing the store. Then that's when the protest is gonna come out. And let me tell you something. As stuff like this is going on, when white people cry, legislations get signed. And they wait right about this time when they push for it. Why you think that they're going so conservative with Ron DeSantis? Why you don't have to have a permit. You just gun someone down. That means business owners. He really did say that to the business owners. You just go ahead. If the cops don't show up, go ahead. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. So you call people like him a sellout, but it's the truth. Now, this is for the single black men and black women. This is your children. It's your responsibility. It's your community. And one of them get shot. Everybody want to protest. Just like that young woman that stole that liquor here in Ohio. Look, the hood stuff ain't nobody gonna think it's funny. Outside, and not everybody don't think it's funny. They don't think it's cute. They're gonna lock your butt up. Simple as that. These white folks will sign legislation, pow, and the courts is doing it. And then you're gonna be hooping and hollering, crying, and everything. Oh, this is not. It's right. Well, especially when they got them on tape doing it. And then you make it bad for the innocent ones, black people who don't do that, who don't do criminal activity. You see how this plays out? The third thing that you don't realize is this: when you loot and when you kind of looting Walmart and places like that, you hurting people that's in your community. You hurting your aunties, your grandmas, some disabled people who don't have the transportation. And you know some of y'all don't like to go out in the white folks area. And you know they're going to crack down, right? And they're going to catch you before, if they don't catch you, the suburban police don't catch you, the city police going to catch you. Because this is what you do. Some of y'all, and I understand. See, I understand this now. But you did this. So now somebody have to pay somebody that one of your relatives or one of your neighbors the medication to drive 5-10 miles outside your neighborhood. Because you got your little bad hellions up there doing stuff like this. And everybody think it's cute. This is going to happen. And so you hurt the people in your community. So let me tell you how the way the business aspect of it goes. So when you have these stores like this who come into the community, because you have single mothers who children might have some kind of cold or cough or thing, who have a pharmacy to get their stuff. You have elderly people who need stuff. You just hurt yourself when they got to pack up that and go way the heck out somewhere. And this going to affect you. Then you get, because you know the little corner stores ain't got no pharmacy. The people that come from the Middle East or India somewhere, they ain't gonna put up no pharmacy with you. They don't have that stuff with you. They just barely make it on their own with some 3-day-old milk or whatever, and 10-day-old chips that you pay for, and you paying $2 for a cig, $10 for and some when y'all want to get your drink on. When you go get for some liquor. Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this is what's going, and it's in every doggone city, and every secondary town and everything. This is gonna happen. You keep doing stuff that like you do. We ain't got so therefore you create food deserts because the marketing team feel like they have a high shopping rate, lift rate. So every time a group of people steal something, they don't make the margin off the money for that product, and they lose the money, and they lose the money so that they can split the profits, they pay the rent, they pay the bills, they pay the employees, because you got somebody who probably was in that community to the single person that's trying to go to school, or that single mother's trying to raise a child and pay the party rent. You screwed them up. You screwed someone, and it comes back to you. You screwing somebody in your own who in the same condition you are, and they trying to make livelihood. It comes back to you. It comes right back to you. And as the single mother and father, black men father, some of you who some of you let your children do something like that. This is what's gonna happen. They're not playing with you. You know this. That's why the old police state, and then people on the protest. Now, remember that situation happened up in Minneapolis? Did you know that when they got rid of the police force, crime spiked right back up? You know when they got rid of the police force and the crime spiked up? Business owners, because you got rid of your police department. Yeah, and they got rid of half the police. I'm not saying get rid of the bad police, but don't take it on the good police that's actually doing their job and lock these little hellions up. Because next thing you know, they come and doing home invasions. The same, because a person that's their mindset. They gotta get that quick money, and they think in their own mind they justify doing it. This is what happened. So what I'm saying is, so you can't call him a sellout because he's stating facts, and this is the facts I'm giving you. Right now we in the middle of a election. And what do these candidates go? They go to predominantly white areas. Guess what they're talking about in there? They're talking about stuff like this, and want to get tough on crime. And a lot of them are business owners. So guess who they're going to listen to the first, who contribute to their campaign? The business owners. Guess who's going to influence the business owners? The community, the local council, the business owners. They come, and the police is to protect the property. That's what the tax paying going to. This is the truth. To pay the taxes, who the police is going to look out for? Them. The fire, that's the truth. So when you go out there, you disturbing the whole thing. So it's something to think about, and it's something black women need. If you don't know how to raise your kid, man, it need an extended family. Need to go back the old-fashioned way. Because this is gonna happen. I'm telling you, they're not playing with you, and you're gonna be going right back and working for the state, making 2 cents for $1. Your kid is. You set for prison and your young man, and your manhood gonna be taken once you go in that prison. Ask the ones that been in prison. Your womanhood gonna be taken, young women. Keep acting a nut. Keep acting a fool. And that's when you sit behind those four walls and have to sit with another person with a toilet and you gotta turn your head because until they piss and poop or whatever, maybe that'll wake you up. Smell they funk, whatever. Oh yeah, let's get real about this. So is glory in that? Cause that's tell me, what's the glory in that? Because this is the reality. Because some people right now in prison going through this right now. In jail going through this right now. If worse, you're going to end up in the grave at a young age. Trying to be a hood rat. A hood ninja. What street credits? What? You didn't get a chance to live out your life to see your little kid grow up. Now your little child don't know who his mom and daddy is because he's trying to be a hood, the best hood dude. Now they go up with emotional because they're trying to figure out who their identity is. This is going down. This comes back to the single father and single mother. You don't think about your own doggone little ones. Just like that young woman out there that stole that liquor. Had a baby in her stuff, and she doing something like this. And you can't. And I don't care. You people can get mad at this, but it's the fact. She hurt her own babies doing hood rat stuff, stealing for no reason. 21 years old. 21 years old with three little ones that the grandma gonna have to take care of. And I prayed, and we gotta pray that those kids are raised right with correction, and little babies raised right. Because you got these Gen Zs and millennials don't know how. Some of them don't know how to raise kids. You got some Gen Xers don't know how to raise kids. So the baby boomers got to raise the kids right, correct. Because it's a foolishness. That's why you have these children with all these problems and stuff like that. Behavior problems. It affects you. You'll see. And these other communities don't give a darn. They don't give a darn about you. You don't give a darn about yourself. That's what they want to do. They want to institutionalize you. Pump you up full of drugs. Put you in some class where you know your kid is smart. Because you know they stereotype you. You know that. They stereotype you. Why are you giving them the stereotype? When you do ignorant stuff like this and think ignorant mentality like this. This ain't just into all the. I'm talking about the ones who got that mindset. Not all single black men, but the ones who do. They get hood ninja stuff. It's representing. We representing. And they look in the world look like you ignorant. It was entertainment. It was funny, but it's ignorance. And now you reflect your family, you reflect your community. You reflect your race. Some people in your race is embarrassed. When we're trying to make strides to try to make it right, they still trying to make us look like we don't have a low grade. We have a mind next to an animal. Because of stuff like this. I'm trying to tell you, America sees race in that sense. Hopefully somebody see this video and share it and stop calling people sellouts. The ones that's really selling is the ones who doing this crazy crap. Who take on this ignorant mentality. You're the sellout if you agree with Stephen and Robin. You're the sellout. You're the because you don't see the bigger plan. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. Like, dislike, and share, subscribe. And black men, black women, you need to think. Build together, build your family. Because these other communities don't. And we're trying, and the ones who are, the black men and black women are trying to wake you up and tell you the truth. Because they see the vision that you can't see outside your neighborhood, outside your minds, the four walls of your house. Because they've been out there, they know, just like myself. And he's right, and then Raul's right. Them other communities do that. So you should build with the right black man and the right black woman. That's right. And that's the only way. It goes on both ends. But if you don't, that's what happened. Then most of y'all gonna probably go to another race and try to find that what you should be a nuclear family in this race. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's why you got passport bros and passport women going across overseas. Because you got some people they don't have the productive mind to look at this. Some of them here. Because you're trying to live a high class life with a poverty mentality. And you're trying to get the easy way, and it's going to cost you your freedom. Hey, I'm just spitting facts and spitting game, but watch. When you see this election, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's what they're gonna be pushing in the next 2 to 5 years. So you better get a hold of your kids, because they're trying to fill back up the prisons and build more jails and prisons. You need to think about that. All right, then. Till next time. See you on the next video. Like and subscribe. Take care.